Hey, it's your girl, Miss Trina, and I want to thank you so much for making the choice to click in to chat with Trina. Today, I am chatting about music, Zydeco, and various other topics with Mr. Marcus Ardoin and Mr. Ruben Moreno. Hello, everybody. This is Miss Trina with Chat with Trina. Thank y'all for making the choice to click in to chat with Trina. And today, I am chatting it up with Mr. Ruben Moreno and Marcus Ardoin. Did I say it right, Marcus?
That's
Ardoin?
it. You got
I
it. You
got it.
got it.
I think I got
Yeah,
it. I think I got it now.
you
And
got it.
Ruben Morales, and I'm just joking. Ruben Moreno. I'm joking. I don't want to confuse nobody else. Guys, thank y'all so much. It's very humbling to when I ask people to come on and they come on, because believe it or not, I've had people to say no, but the Zydeco community has been super cool and so supportive. And it's really cool because I don't come from the Zydeco community per se. So for y'all to support me and my vision, I just want to say thank you, and I don't take it for granted at all.
No, not a
So
problem. Anytime.
thank
My
you.
name is Marcus Ardoin. My family is originally from Mamou, Louisiana, but we've been in Houston for many, many years. And as y'all know, if you don't know, I'm the leader of Marcus Ardoin and the Zydeco Legends.
Yes. And you come from a family of, are you really related to the Sean and the Chris? Are y'all actually related for real, or you just have this
Yes,
shit? Okay.
yes, no. Chris's and Sean grandfather and my grandfather are brothers.
Okay, cool. So you come from a long line of
Long
performers.
line of Zydeco. Yes, ma'am. Goes
Awesome.
back over a century.
Crazy. I did not know that you were from Louisiana, though. I thought you were from here.
Yes.
Ruben, are you from Houston? Where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas. Yeah.
So what part of Houston are you from?
I'm originally from the east end of Houston called Second Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm originally from.
Okay. Like that's what school? What high school is that?
Austin High School.
I've actually been playing instruments since I was about 3 or 4 years old. My first instruments was actually the drums.
Okay.
But I started my own band. I played, but put it this way, I played my first gig in 2003.
Okay. Um, did you play in a band before that, or you just went straight into doing your own band? Did you play?
No, I wasn't like zoned to a band per se, but I would help a lot of different bands out, with the rubberboard and drums.
Okay.
Back in my younger days, Step Rito. I've
Mm-hmm.
actually played drums with Paul a couple of times. Played drums with Nooney. I played drums
Okay.
with Brian. I played drums, for Curtis Poulard, for a lot of different musicians, helping out.
Okay. Did you what made you go to the
Actually,
accordion?
I think I even played drums for Ruben a couple of times.
Oh. What made you go to the accordion? Because you wanted to be the leader? Well, that's not true. I found out you don't always have to have the accordion as the lead too. I found that out too.
In Zydeco, that's what it is, but I mean, they have some guys that start their own band
Mm-hmm.
and don't necessarily be the accordion player, like, platinum players, that's Fred Bell. He's actually the
Mm-hmm.
bass player, but he's actually the owner of the band. So
Mm-hmm.
that works for some people,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
But the
People just
majority of people use the leader is normally the accordion player.
right, exactly. Because in Zydeco, the band follows the accordion, so
Okay.
that's just
I
what
see
it
what you're
is.
saying. Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
What other instruments? So you play the drums, the accordion, anything else?
Yeah, I could play keys and bass.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn guitars. It's a little hard for me, but I'm I've never really been too fond of the guitar. I like the sound of the guitar
Uh-huh.
and the things that you can do with it, but I
Yeah.
never really wanted to learn the guitar. But
Okay.
since I can play the other stuff, I'm
Fiddling with it.
we locked in for COVID, so
Might as
might,
well.
might as well learn while I don't have nothing else to do.
Right. Ruben, when did you start Zydeco music?
I started playing Zydeco when I was around 7. Um, I was playing washboard.
Mm-hmm.
Started playing my first shows in 1998 with
Okay.
some bands around town. At that time, bands were like Leroy Thomas, um,
Yeah.
a man by the name of Bonton Mickey,
Oh,
uh,
I've heard that name.
a band
Bon ton.
a band from Houston called Lil Rev and the Zydeco Huckabucks, and
Huckabucks.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
Zydeco Huckabuck.
you got the Zydeco Dots.
Yeah.
Those are the bands that shared their stages with me.
Okay. Is that oh well, let me ask you this first. So then what were you were playing the rub board. Then when did you start playing the accordion? Accordion.
I started playing accordion at home when I was like 12, and then at
Okay.
13, I got on stage. Leroy Thomas allowed me to play a song
To
on it,
do.
and I did it at a Chafalaya. This restaurant used
Yeah, I remember that place.
to have Zydeco dances there, and so I got on accordion, and I tried my best.
What made you want to pick up that accordion, the accordion though? Was it something you always wanted to do since you were playing with them?
It wasn't something I always wanted to do. I guess I fell in love with it in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instrument that I was always familiar with, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily needed to play. I didn't need to be a leader. I didn't
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
to do that. But I grew an interest, and because I really love playing percussion. I love playing the washboard. I love
Okay.
and other percussion instruments. But I started to grow an interest on the accordion, and then I fell in love with it. Once I had it in my hands, that was
Uh-huh. Is the accordion, so Marcus, I heard you say that the guitar is a little more challenging, maybe because you don't like it as much. But is the accordion, and I'm asking both of y'all this, how hard is it? Like, was it something you had to like, you
you,
know,
you gotta
Honest answer, it's easy to us.
yeah. It's hey,
but it's like you're doing two things at one time. That's why when I look at that,
three things at one time.
oh, what? So the,
I mean,
You got
it doesn't look like you're doing a lot at one time. I mean, but
a lot of
when
things.
you trying to guide the band, sing the song, lead the song, and
Use
you
both
know,
hands.
yeah, use both hands and listening for who doing something wrong or messing up. I mean,
yeah,
like I said, it's easy for us because we do it. Like,
you do it.
whatever
Right, right.
whatever your job title is every day, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah, yeah. That's true.
and
That's true.
I probably can't do it,
Right, right.
but it's just a
Yeah,
talent God bless us with, and we
yeah.
just
It's all about the individual and the commitment. So I went to sleep with my accordion in my hand. I went to school with my accordion in my hand. So it's about how bad you want to work.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I
That
know
is true.
Mark spent plenty of times with that accordion
Mm,
just not letting it go. The way he plays, I know he grew up like that too.
right. And I
yeah.
remember me and Ruben pretty much. I'm a little older than Ruben, but me and
Mm.
Ruben pretty much we pretty much came up together inside the co. I remember Ruben when he first started playing. He used to bring his accordion to the gigs, and now he's one of the best out there. So
What made you really want to start doing this as a career?
well, the thing is for me, this is not the only thing I do.
Right, right.
So I'm not gonna say I'm doing it for a living,
Mm,
but in the sense that I am also.
right, right,
Because I'm not gonna say it's just a hobby because a hobby is just something you do just to do it.
right.
I do it because I love it, and of course, like Nate said, hey, you can make that l'argent. And it's just fun, man. To watch the people enjoy your music, and to dance and have a good time, and meet new people, travel, and
Definitely.
it's a good thing, man. Like I said, it's a talent God blessed you with, and you don't want to make it go to waste. So you
Right.
just use it to your best ability and just have fun, man, and enjoy it. But to say I do it for a living, I don't do it for a living. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but
Is that one
it's
of
a
those
lot of people
streams of
that do.
income?
Right. But it is an income, and it's very helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love it, man.
Well, everybody does it for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does it for different reasons. I didn't pursue it for the money, and I didn't pursue it for. I never thought of it as it would be for a living, or as
Mm,
to survive, because
right.
but it's something that I knew I'd always wanted to do. Since I was a child, I've always sang and danced and
Do
performed.
you dance, Ruben?
A little bit.
Really? I don't,
Ruben cut a rug every now and then.
what? I don't see that at all.
I was doing that jacks before anything. I was dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
So everybody went there to Zydeco. So
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you said that, I was like, whoa, dance.
so so at a young age, I knew I wanted to serve, and
Mhm.
I wanted to entertain. I grew up in a very non-traditional setting. I grew up in my grandmother's beer joint. You know, she raised me in her bar. So at a real young age, I was already in there trying to entertain
Mm,
people at her business.
yeah.
I knew music would be it. When I found out that Zydeco was it, was the way it touched me. We're talking vibe, we're talking energy, we're talking
Yes.
spiritually. This music, it put a hold on me, and it hasn't been able to
Let go.
go at all. So you know,
Yeah.
it's a part of everybody's connected. When you go to the Zydeco, it's like 99.9% of the audience is going to be members of the Creole community or people that are directly
Mm-hmm.
connected to those communities.
Yeah.
So it's two things. Connected with it at a young age, being raised where I was raised in Houston, and
Mm-hmm.
being introduced to it, and knowing that I have roots that stem from that too. So it became a really spiritual thing when I
Right.
get to perform. My intentions when I'm on stage, they're more of a spiritual aspect. I perform, and who I have in mind is my ancestors, and how thankful I am to have
That you're able to do that.
learned this music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know,
Move so many people with this music. It's crazy.
when you say that, it makes me think about something I asked the DJs the other day. I asked them, because I'm in a dance community that's a very large dance community. We do swing out, two step, salsa, all that stuff, right? And we're huge. But there's sometimes some issues that I have because I believe in you can't move forward if you don't know what happened back there. And you got to pay homage and you have to pay respect to the people that come before you. And sometimes they
Exactly.
have issues with that. You know what I mean? You're not the first one did this. Let's also recognize where we come from. And I've noticed in the community from the people that I've talked to, especially during these shows, they do like who do I hear? Is it Clifton Chenier I hear so much about?
That's
King
one.
of
Oh
Zydeco.
my gosh. Yeah. Like I didn't know who that was, but everybody I've interviewed have said that name. And so that always makes me say, God, that's cool that they still I'm a history buff too. So um that I was telling somebody I'm gonna do my research on him because I hear so much about him. Was he someone that y'all listened to or
He's
talk
he's
about?
he's considered one of the architects and the king of Zydeco music today. Like they're
Oh,
modern, you're modern. What we know as Zydeco music today. He paved the way for a lot of artists. He
yeah.
took a very rural sound, which was the sound that I believe Marcus's ancestor, Amadei Ardoin,
I
he
heard
Mhm.
yes.
so he laid out the foundation for the music period for the whole genre.
Hmm.
And then it later turned into Zydeco music when Clifton Chenier started to add your pop sounds, your keyboard and
Yeah.
guitar and your bass and heavy drums and all that stuff. So none of that was even part of the music originally.
Right. Because it was only like the washboard, the
And
drums,
it
Accordion was
would
and
it really
accordion.
wasn't even drums back then. It was really just a washboard, accordion, and a triangle.
Really?
And they used to just stump
So
their
they
feet.
usually use a triangle. I didn't know they used the triangle. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Well, how could
Yeah.
you make that sound? I guess the accordion makes most of the sound. I was like, well, how would you get any music out of that?
oh you get
I
Right.
mean, you get music, but you know what I mean, like to
But the
dance
thing
to.
is, they used to stump their foot, for the beat. But that's like the thing is like any other music, it evolved. Back then that was music for them.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Now
Okay.
today, if you do that, it's like okay,
no, today
uh,
it's still music though, because if you I could take you to a place all the way in France where
Uh-huh.
the only lineups will be your old traditional Creole artists, your Creole music,
Hmm.
artists that never even play in Texas or Louisiana, but they're known all over the world because that culture is what they want. They want that. They want to
that's
have
true.
that real essence because that's what the
Yeah.
music comes from, and that's what it is. So
Right.
people will pay for that. And they'll have you all going all over the world playing that music. And I've had the opportunity to have countless experiences like that because these people don't want to hear my melodic R&B and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, that's true. That's very
And
true. Even music to this day, it's kudos to everybody that plays Zydeco. I mean,
absolutely.
all the guys that's playing now, Leon,
Mhm.
Lene, Chris,
Yeah.
J. Paul, Brian. I mean, they all phenomenal. They all great. Cooney.
Awesome.
They
Yeah.
all. everybody has their own style and they all do their thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
But be honest, it's really a lot harder for the Houston bands in Houston.
Yeah.
You know, I never understood that, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it does feel good to know that you appreciate it and that you know people support
music
you.
is definitely
Right.
Yeah, because even what I do, and I don't play no music, I can't sing, but just some of the things that I do, and I have a passion for the stuff that I do. I have a passion for promoting live music and dancing and stuff like that. And sometimes, not that you want the little sticker on your paper, but you do want people to recognize what you are. I ain't gonna lie, I'm that little girl. I need that star on my paper. But so
Now, to be a musician and to be a leader of a band, you need to know how to adjust to your crowd.
Yeah.
First and foremost. I mean, you know, in Houston, you know, when you play a trail rise out here, you already know what they like. They like the slow, you know, R&B type style. Then they like the hip hop, you know, type style. You know, throw your hands in the air and drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go play at a church hall, which they don't even really do church hall dances no more. That used to be the thing going on back then. I don't know if you even know about church hall dances, but man, they used to see, and that's what I'm saying. So church hall dances used to be.
I mean, like the Catholic church dance we have here in Acres Heights and Acres Home, but it was like a DJ and music, wasn't Zydeco.
No, man. When I tell you back in the day, like with Keith, Frank, and Step used to play them, even Chris, or you know, whoever the case is. I'm talking about they used to be like a trail ride inside the church hall.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, young folks, old folks. But then
so is that
back
like
then,
the bazaars?
No, I'm talking about church hall dances.
Just
like
church,
they would do them.
okay.
Yeah, they would do them. I'm not gonna say every weekend like a trail ride, but you know, every other weekend, every month or something. At one of these Catholic churches, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure if they had like a certain schedule where one would have a dance this week, whatever the case is. But it was a good time. And the thing is, like older folks like waltzes, you know, and they like waltzes and they like fast music. But you can't go to a trail ride and play a waltz all night. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. They're gonna be like, what is he playing? Don't ever come see him again. You know, so you just need to learn how to adjust to your crowd. So I've had people tell me, hey, can you play something a little faster? And it's mostly the older folks. The older folks used to the fast stuff. I've had older folks, hey, can you play something faster? Yeah, I got you. You play it fast. And them old folks jump up. Once you play slow, they like, man, I don't want to hear that. The younger folks,
they want to hear the slower.
Yeah, because they dance different. You know, it's different these days.
Okay.
You know, like I said, everything changes, man. You know, and I'm sure Ruben had the same experience. So maybe Ruben has been everywhere. So he ain't no telling what kind of experience Ruben had.
So Ruben, do you get that about the different music that you play?
I've gotten some interesting things. I went and I played South by Southwest in Austin.
Oh wow.
2016 or something, I believe. And I was almost done with my set. I played twice in the same venue, an early set and then I had a late night set. And I was almost done with my first one. And right before, like 2 songs before I ended the show, this guy comes up to the stage and he's like, "This ain't no damn Zydeco." And he didn't really look like the type of guy who would even jam Zydeco music. And I was like, I don't remember what I was playing. I was playing something. I was playing. I mean, the people were enjoying it. Everybody was dancing.
Right.
And then I ended the set and I came around the side of the stage and the guy was right there and he made his way over by me so he can discuss his feelings about he said, you know, that song you were playing, that ain't Zydeco, that sounds like something else. I'm not sure what he said. I said, well, that song, I said, it's a cover. It's actually a cover. It's you can hear it on your top 40s, you know, today's top 40s music. And he said, yeah. He goes, that ain't what they said. It was a Zydeco band. That ain't Zydeco. And I said, well, who would you consider Zydeco music yourself? He said, well, you know, people like Bojack and like Clifton Chenier, you know? You know those people? I was like, I'm not unfamiliar with those artists, yeah. I said, but you got to remember, like people like Bojack and people like Clifton Chenier, they took top 40s music, and they did the same exact thing. Actually, that's who I took the concept from. So
that's very true.
It's just kind of funny when people say, you know, that ain't Zydeco, and what do you know about Zydeco and all this other stuff. I'm like, you're not paying attention to what we're doing here.
That, and then if you think about it, just like gospel music I don't mean that they had to change, but they brought in different people that like that like gospel music now because they evolved and they do some different, you know, your Kurt Franklin, your Fred Hammonds, and those people, they made some changes. So with Zydeco, I knew nothing about Zydeco except the old school stuff, and I didn't like it. But when someone invited me out to see J. Paul many moons ago, when it was a place on Wallaceville, I think, somewhere over there. And I went there, and I was like, this is Zydeco music? Like, oh my God, I like this. This is really cool. So I've been liking it ever since. But before that, I would just, and that's why when people say, I was gonna ask y'all that next too. Then you hear people say, well, I don't want to go to Zydeco because all the music sounds the same all night. And I've learned that they don't hear it, or they're not listening, or they already have their mind made up, because I hear the difference, and because now I go there. Do you guys respond to anybody about the music when you're talking about Zydeco?
I've had people say that, but this is what people don't realize. You know, every genre of music has its own beat. Like if you listen to country, a lot of people say all country sound alike. And people listen, like people that don't like rap, they'll say all rap sound alike. Or people jazz, all that sound alike. Because it's just that genre of music. So, or Tejano, people hear Tejano and they be like, all that sound like the same. So it's just that genre of music. It's gonna have the same beat, but you have to listen to the melody of it.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's just what it is. If they don't like Zydeco, if they never hear it, that's like I don't know Tejano music. But if I hear it and somebody be like, you know that song? No, it sounds like the last song. But somebody that loves Tejano music, they'll be like, are you crazy? That's the best Tejano song ever. That, you know, I don't know. You know, so for somebody that don't know Zydeco, yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that. But if you look at them a year or two later, they the main ones in the front.
In the front.
They the
Wait a
main ones
minute.
in the front.
Funny thing to that when you say you don't know Tejano music. So I've been laughed at when people would ask me what is Zydeco music. People that didn't know. I went to Dallas before Dallas knew what Zydeco was. I didn't know that everybody didn't do Zydeco. So I go to Dallas and tell the DJ, hey, I want to hear some Zydeco. And they looking at me like, huh, what? What is that? You don't know what Zydeco is? And I'm like, naming people, J. Paul, you don't know who that? No, they didn't. So I said, it's like Tejano music. That's what I compared it to. I had no, and I guess I compared it to it because of the accordion, because it's Tejano music.
I've heard people say that.
So that's how I was describing it to people, because that's the only thing I could think of to make it make sense. And I'm thinking because I hear the accordion. Does that have any type of comparison to you guys?
You did right, because if you understand the roots of these music, of style, okay, so break it down real fast. I'm not even going to the other details.
Yeah.
So Zydeco music has French roots, and Tejano music has German roots. Okay, both of those nations built accordions, and both of those nations helped bring accordions here. Now they've gone both ways. We'll talk about that later. So the accordions get here. So you have two very rural communities. You have the Louisiana Creoles, and you have the very diverse native crowd in Texas, which is, I'm a product of that. People call us Hispanic or Latino. I don't use those terms, but
okay,
us brown folks on both states, you know.
Yeah.
So you have rural workers that go and they work the fields and they work hard labor jobs, and they come home. What do? They pick up that accordion and they pick up whatever instruments they can create or put their hands on, and they express themselves through those instruments. Now you have the Creole community and then the other community in Texas doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Ways doing the exact same thing. So Tejano music is what Zydeco music is to Creole music. Creole music was its traditional form. Well, if you take Tejano music and search for its traditional form, you get Conjunto music. And then you have similarities there. So it shares.
Okay. So you can see why I would describe it as that.
And people who don't see that don't understand the origin of the music. So
are you guys playing now? Like if someone asks you guys to play, are y'all playing during the COVID?
It all depends.
Yeah, it all depends on what it is. I've had a few gigs. It's been pretty slow for me, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm not playing, but yeah, I've
put anything in your contract or your agreement for safety for you, or not? Like nobody can get on the stage. I don't even know if you guys are the type of band to let people get on your stage or not, but people get on the stage and get close to y'all. Do y'all do anything like that?
I'm not against people getting on the stage and having fun. You know, just the think of tearing up the equipment or tripping over something and hurting themselves over a card, and then they looking at you, So
Yeah.
that's the only issue I have about people getting on the stage. There's nothing wrong with having fun.
I'm talking about now during COVID to keep your distance. Do y'all do anything like that? Do you try to?
Well, yeah, I had a couple of gigs come through, but I did have a rule in there where I wanted them to rope off the first 10 feet from the stage to the dance floor.
Okay. That's I'm sorry that I didn't say that right. That's what I was asking. What about you, Ruben? I know you've been playing.
Yeah, I'm just doing outdoor events that
exactly, and outdoor events too.
Yeah,
okay.
We're pretty much following the guidelines.
Okay.
Small
All right.
spaces and with no crowds or big groups. It's all been outdoors with everybody kind of sections off their own.
So Ruben, this year you were part of the Grammy, and I don't know the right terminology for it. Tell us about that. That's exciting, and I must say that I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's exciting.
This year I accepted my invitation, and they accepted my exception. So, it all worked out. This year I became a member of the Recording Academy. That was a really interesting journey.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of all the support that I had and from Grammy members. They had all recommended me and
that is so cool. What was that? Well, I mean, you said it was a great journey. It made you feel like your music was appreciated.
I have mixed feelings about the Grammys and all that, but I mean, it's at the end of the day, the Grammy works one way. If you don't do your part, then you don't play a role. You don't play a part. The Grammy doesn't just like it was a journey. I mean, I got contacted and it said, hey, you have 2 recommendations to be a Grammy member, and I never even knew how to get it.
Right.
Never even crossed my mind. But that caught my attention, and I said, well, if I'm getting recommendations, I'm gonna move forward with it.
Yeah.
And I'm a voting member and all these wonderful
wow.
And, it's beneficial to the artist. And let's say I don't win a Grammy. It doesn't matter. I mean, I still got to push. I still got to campaign. And
definitely.
Hey, no matter how big or small the artist is that does not win the Grammy, he's still putting in work. We're still grinding. It doesn't matter whether we get a Grammy or not. We're on the radar. People.
Absolutely. And for that type of music, that's a big deal.
Become a member. All those artists that are listening, I mean, you have to become a member if you want a Grammy. So, I mean, they're not really going to come to your door knocking unless you're like Jay-Z or Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly.
Even they went and did the paperwork and did everything they had to do to become a Grammy member. So it's not a big deal. If it's for you, that's great. I mean, I'm so far down my music career now. I'm barely getting into that. When I was 19 or 18, but that wasn't.
Are y'all still, when you say that, are y'all still hungry? Like y'all still, sometimes after a while, things slow down, you get a little older. Are y'all still hungry for it?
Oh, most definitely. And that's it. That's why you put out new music. Even though the playing has slacked down a lot for a lot of us, but it's COVID. You still put out new music just to let people know, hey, I'm still here. I still got new stuff. I'm still hungry. You still give them something new to listen to.
Right.
Because what you don't want to do is be in COVID or be, whatever you call it, quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it.
We ain't locked down, but okay.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, for a year, pretty much everything, chilling. Then you come back out a year later and you still got the same songs.
Right. And I do notice that you guys, I know for the 2 of you, Paul, y'all have music. So you've been creating, Roy Anthony, he told me, because I asked the question of what are y'all doing during COVID, and creating is a great
I actually have 2 more songs that's about to drop.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you the names, and I'm not gonna say who's on them. But I have 2 more songs that's about to drop. So it's gonna be. I got one that's a little different from what I'm used to doing. So
do you guys dabble in any other genre besides Zydeco?
Like I said, I got some coming that's a little different than what I'm used to doing, but we're gonna see how it goes. It's coming out good.
What about you, Ruben?
Sounds good.
I'm excited about it. Maybe it's something I can swing out to.
Yeah.
Ruben, what about you? Do you play other genres?
I'm looking forward to hearing Marcus do something new. That'd be nice. probably with some nice smooth R&B, man. What you doing, Marcus?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something.
Straight face.
Yeah, like I said, that Addicted song came out and it's doing pretty good. I think it's been out about 2 weeks now, two and a half weeks, something like that. And
Yeah.
before that, earlier in the year, I released that "If It Ain't Live, It Ain't Me." You know, the twist to the mystical old school rap song. And they both did pretty well for me. The thing is, I haven't really had a chance to play them, but you know, um, I've played them, a few times, but haven't really had a chance to play them a lot. But they doing real well. But like I said, I have another Zydeco album that I'm working on, but I'm also trying some new things too. So
I went through your CD when I couldn't upload Addicted that day. So I went through your CD online and I found a song and it's like you, Brian Jack, and so Zydeco guy I wasn't that familiar with. Or you what? No. We have to do Fruge, Jeremy Fruge. Is that your song?
no, that was you talking about me, Rambo and Jeremy?
There you go.
Yeah,
Who
that's
did I say?
you said Brian Jack. Brian Jack is on a song on there too. Yeah, that's
He
that
is. He is.
you got that fire remix.
That one. I did like that one.
Yeah, that's me, Raymond, and Jeremy.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a remix. The original song is actually on my album before that, the New Beginning album, the original song. But the one you talking about is the actual remix of it.
Do you play anything other than Zydeco?
And Ruben sing everything.
I just did my first R&B debut release. I got two music videos. One on YouTube called "If You Ever Met Her," and it kind of gives you like a swing out vibe. And then I got one called "Direction," and it's more like a pop feel.
Okay.
Get on YouTube and look up Ruben Moreno Vivo. All my
Okay.
all my videos, my music videos pop up.
Definitely. Well, I'll say both of y'all have some awesome music. When I took the music you sent me, I went in and just kind of listened for myself. And I've been to Ruben shows. Marcus, I don't know if I've ever been to like a show, except I think a long time ago, Raphael did something I thought was really awesome. It was something I wanted to do. I just haven't had the chance. He had you, Ruben, I think like at Zoom, the old Zoom Barrel. He had all y'all that night playing in one night. It wasn't like a J Paul, was it like all the other bands. Do you remember that?
I remember playing with Marcus, but I don't know who else was there.
Yeah, I was say I remember me and Ruben.
It was a big thing.
It was. We played outside, right?
I don't know if y'all was outside. No. It was in that little second part. Anyway, I thought that was an awesome thing to see. I think that's the only time I've probably seen you play. But I mean, he had all the bands there. I don't want to keep saying other bands, but all the bands there that some of the bands people don't get to see as often. I'll say that.
Right, exactly.
And that was so cool to me, which is why I did my cruise that I was doing. I was trying, that's kind of the theme I was trying to have. So I believe in I mean, it's just so many, and I talk about this all the time, and I try not to get on that soapbox, but there's so many awesome bands that you don't have the opportunity to see as much.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And everybody is great in their own way. Everybody has their own style,
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing that kills some bands is some people get stuck on that one style that they want to hear, and other bands don't get a chance to show their talent. Just because they have a different style don't mean they're not great.
Right.
They just have a different style, like Beyonce and, Sierra, and everybody have their different style, but they're all great.
Right. It doesn't mean it's good or bad. Right.
Like, I feel that I'm great. Ruben is awesome. But our style is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you go hear Ruben, you're going to hear me, you're going to get two totally different styles of Zydeco. Two totally different. Go ahead, Ruben.
My class, and I would encourage everybody who's listening, everybody in general, no matter where you're coming from, to come with an open mind. Come with an open mind, and because I mean, Zydeco music. I mean, the scene ain't what it used to be, but it's still overall, it consists of a lot of people with big hearts. And it's a really good place to be, and it's a really good atmosphere to be around. So just come with an open mind, because you're gonna have a good time no matter what. Usually.
Yeah. Anything, Marcus?
Right, and go back to what Ruben said. Come with an open mind and enjoy yourself, and don't try to compare the artists. I hear so many people.
Yeah.
say, they'll hear you play a song and oh, he don't sound like Nate, or he don't sound like he don't. Well, that's because that's not Nate. That's not Christian. That's not Nate. So,
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah, so I hear a lot of people say, and that's what I say. But you're gonna love who you love, and all those artists are great. They're all doing their thing. But like I said, everybody is different. And there's so many people that that want to support you, and I see this a lot, but they don't because other people don't support you. I hear so many people that say, "Hey, you going?" No, I ain't gonna go. Well, if you ain't going, I ain't going. I've been to see, like, I go see everybody play. Yeah. There's so many bands out here that people probably don't even know. Kid Reese, you got LT, people know Keon, you got Curtis Poulard, like even myself, all in my boys, all in my homeboys, and I support them. Like Ruben, I go see Ruben play. If I'm not doing anything, I go pop up on them. Hey man, what you doing? I'm just come check you out, chill with you for a minute, But I hear so many people ask somebody, "Have you going?" No, I'm not going. Well, if you ain't going, I ain't going. Or they'll get there.
They call when they get there and say somebody's not. I don't like that.
And I've been outside, going to hear another band play, and I hear people on the phone. Yeah, girl, I'm here, but ain't. Yeah, man, I'm here, but ain't nobody here. Well, I'm finna go ahead and leave. Somebody got to be the first person to walk in. So if everybody pull up and they say ain't nobody here, ain't nobody gonna never come. Somebody got to be the first person to walk in.
Yes.
Everybody ain't gonna be the 60th person to walk in. So I just wish people would just support more out of just being support and not followers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, it's easier said than done. So people gonna do what they want, and that's why I say, hey man, we just put out your music and just show them what you can do and be your biggest fan. If nobody else like you, like yourself.
Do you promote Marcus Ardoin? Do you put anything out about you, like on social media? Do you email? You have a newsletter? Anything that you put out about you to promote?
Oh yeah. If I put out a new song, of course I'm gonna share it. Some people might get tired. I don't have people talk, man, we know about, like, I don't have homeboys joke, man, we know about that addicted song. Stop posting, man. I'm posting a song every day. I got a flyer with all my booking information on it. I post it once a month or every 2 weeks. The same flyer. I just post it, to let people know.
To keep your visibility.
Yeah, this is who you can call. I mean, you call this number. You can search me here on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you want to go to. This is the email. But yeah, you have to promote yourself.
Marcus,
of course.
Ruben, and what about you?
I just wanted to commend Marcus because every time I see I always know when he's got new music out because I see it and I hear it everywhere, and that's something that I don't know if he knows, but he's doing that well when it comes to music. I always see it. Leon Chavis too. Anytime them cats are dropping something, I hear it and I see it every time.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, me, I advertise as much as I possibly can with whatever's in the budget, and I make it work. I got a lot of supporters, a lot of loyal supporters that are promoters and some unprofessional promoters, but they they get, as long as they get the word out there, it's cool. You support me, I support you.
Yeah.
I like to stay relevant. Leroy Thomas always told me, out of sight, out of mind. So I always like to make sure that I'm doing something. I don't have Zydeco music releasing every month, but I got something I'm working on, and I work on it well. So
how are you dealing with the racial disparities of our Black and brown people? How did that affect you this year? Did y'all do any marching? Did you do anything to support, or how did you feel about it? Do you think it's getting better? Like, either one of y'all want to take that on?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not gonna lie and say I did any marching or anything. It affects everybody. Because I have friends of all nationalities. I have Caucasian friends. I have Hispanic friends. Ruben don't like to say Hispanic. I forgot what Ruben said he liked to say. Latino or whatever it was. Ruben said
he said not Latino either.
Okay.
That's what they want to use. Don't put me in that mix, man.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I was going to ask him that earlier, but go ahead.
Ruben is my boy.
Yeah.
So, but I have a lot of friends of different nationalities, so it affects you, especially to see if you have, a nationality getting treated wrong and you real close friends with some people. But I'm not gonna say I did any marching or anything, but I just pray. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just pray everything works itself out, and I just believe everything is for a reason. Everybody had their own opinion. Everything happened for a reason, whether it's good or bad. You hate
Do
to see
you
things.
though? Do you though? Understand? Like, let's say I've had to ask women. Well, I've had to ask men too. Are you having to tell your boys or even your daughter that about this, how to act if they get stopped, if they get, are you having to have the conversation with anybody in your family, even nieces or nephews?
Yeah, my son, he's 9 now, so
Okay.
he's been at the age to where kids ask questions. When they see
Right.
stuff on TV, he's asked me, Daddy, why the police beating them up? He's actually asked me this, and
Yeah.
I actually got stopped for speeding probably about 3-4 months ago, and he was with me, and he was like, Dad, are you finna get beat up?
Oh.
I was like, I say, well, I hope not.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that he said that. It's like, I don't want him to
Definitely.
think that every time you see a cop stop you, like, oh, I'm finna get beat up. That's
Right.
not good,
It's scary.
for a kid to see, So I've had those talks with him,
Okay. Okay.
stuff like that. And he's
Sad we
he's
have
he's
to
not,
have
so
those
he
talks,
comprehends.
but
Yeah, but it's better to have them than not to have them, because in today's world, man, you just don't know what you
yeah.
don't know what can happen, man. There's so many things happen. Like I had a friend of mine, actually my cousin called me yesterday. Actually, I called her and she called me back. And I heard the phone drop and I just heard her scream. So I'm like, what the heck going on? So it hung up. So I kept calling back. She answered the phone and I said, what happened? She said, boy, my neighbor ran out the house with explosives taped on his chest. I say, what? And she went on live. The cops rushed on her street, and I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it
gosh.
it's always something
I
going
don't know if
on.
I'm surprised about anything that's happening in our world right now, to be honest with you. Ruben, what about you?
I have I grew up in a real tough time in a real tough place, and
Oh.
I had my experiences growing up a young brown boy and
Mm-hmm.
a young brown man.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen injustice. I've seen
Really?
inequalities. I've seen racism. I've seen it. So I know it exists. I've experienced it in my face. I've seen how my father's been treated.
Wow.
I've had to see some things that I wish I didn't have to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what the issues are, and I know what the threat is. And when people started marching and rioting and picketing,
Mm-hmm.
I remember Martin Luther King's quote about a riot is the language of the unheard. So when I see people react like that, um, I don't, I support it.
Okay.
That
Okay.
that's an argument that a lot of people will have. I mean, I'm not supporting people burning down
Mm-hmm.
businesses and stealing and
Yeah.
each other. That's not what it is. That's not what I'm supporting. I'm supporting other forms of action that bring attention to these causes. And as an artist, see, I've had my chance to picket and protest and demonstrate.
Okay.
So I'm a little older now, and I don't necessarily have to demonstrate like that. I can use my platform and my talent,
Right.
and that's actually what I'm doing and working on now. My third Zydeco album will be released next year, and there are some songs dealing with some social issues.
Oh, cool.
Um, I identify myself as a Moorish American man, part of the
Mm-hmm.
Mexica tribe. So I'm a native. A lot of us here are natives. I'm not any type of way Hispanic. I do have a Latin ancestor that I will acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Us are very very well mixed with all type of beautiful things around the world. So.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I identify as. I don't use.
Okay. I
I,
was gonna ask you that earlier. I wasn't sure how to bring it up, so I'm glad you said it. I was gonna ask you, were you Hispanic or Latino, but you answered that you don't identify as one
yeah,
of those boxes.
anything. What I want to do eventually, as I grow older with my music and everything else, is I want to bring it to attention. What are these terms?
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic, Latino? What are the terms that we so quickly utilize to identify ourselves with, and we don't even know what the words are. We don't even know where these terms come from. So, I wasn't raised Hispanic or Latino. I don't know what that is. That's not what this culture is here. That's not what tacos are, and what our Mexican culture and our island cultures and our Central American and South American cultures. Not many Latin things there.
Wow.
Learn what the word is. I come from a empire that is ancient, an ancient empire that stems all the way from North Africa and to the remote parts of America. We've been here 50,000 years plus. So
Wow.
so yeah.
So in your household, Ruben, and I'm asking this because I had my kids, I have them fill out an application to join the program. And so I was helping this baby do his, because when you get to typing too slow, I'm gonna take the computer and type. Even though I ain't supposed to do that during COVID time, he was typing too slow. So anyway, so I got to the part where it had the titles, Hispanic, Black, and I never check anybody because I don't know. So I asked this baby, and he says, well, in our house, we don't talk about those words. I was like, okay, well, so when you say that, it reminded me of this little boy. So I just thought maybe he didn't know. And it could be possible he didn't know, but it could also be something that's taught in his household that they don't do that. You know what I mean? It may not be that, but it could be, So when you say that, it opens my eyes a little bit.
Here's something to think about that's relevant. When I've traveled to a dozen countries out of America already, and when you go to places, nobody identifies as a color. There are no Black people. There are no white people, because in actuality, none of that exists. In real life,
Right.
none of that exists. There's no colors of, there's no crayons walking around. You know what I mean? Like it's people of nations, people of groups, but colors ain't one of them. And that's something that we gotta kind of get that concept. Because when I look at my family, I see every color. I've seen that every day of my life. My father is 5 times darker than me, but my mother is around my shade. And hair textures vary, facial features vary. My father is a mahogany brown with kinky curly hair, and my mother's olive skin with wavy brown hair, and my children vary, and my ancestors. I mean, I have a grandmother that people would say, oh, she's an African American woman or a woman, but I doubt you could call her that, because she was raised in the Alabama tribal land and enslaved as an Indian woman. But
Oh, that's crazy.
but her shade, you know what I mean? People would be like, oh, that's a Black woman. So this term, and that's all about terminology.
Yeah.
It's just 80 years ago, a lot of our ancestors wouldn't have allowed anybody to call them Black. They would call them Negroed and colored, and then before that, my ancestors were Moors or mulattoes.
I've heard that. Yeah.
That's where I carry my name Moreno from. It's got a rich history. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, and then you get into the Louisiana side, and that alone is diverse.
It so is. It is. It is. But you know what, and I'm not gonna hold y'all much longer, but I have to say this, so because we're talking about this, my kids and I talked, they were giving me not a lecture, but they talked to me about some things, and we talked about colorism. So they're teaching me so many things, like male, female, why we're not supposed to say male and female to certain things, because we're not animals, we're not dogs, whatever. And but last night we were talking about colorism. And so my oldest daughter is a darker person, and then my youngest daughter is lighter. And I find that, so in other cultures, I didn't know that they do that too. Let's just say in Louisiana, people from Louisiana, Creole people, they have an issue with with cousins who are darker and the lighter, and that's like
the more fair.
It's crazy.
Skinned or favored.
Yeah.
And until I get around some people that are more fair than me,
then you be like, so funny. Where can you get your music? Not CDs, music.
Any available online digital sites, man. CD Baby, Amazon Music, iTunes.
But y'all don't get that much money from Spotify. I heard that recently. I was saying I have Spotify, and so somebody said that I'm not giving y'all enough money.
I don't really complain or dwell or trip on that, because I just feel like long as people hearing your music and knowing what you can do, that's payment enough for me. You know, because that could bring more shows or bring more fans or whatever the case is. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If people go buy it and you make more money, of course, it's always great. But you know, my goal is to get it out for people to hear and get more fans and get more shows and get to different places.
So you're on all platforms and you're
Yeah,
okay with
exactly.
them buying it any kind of way, as long as they share the music. What about you, Ruben? Where can we get your music?
My music is on every digital store, online, absolutely everywhere. It's available everywhere online. It's also available at my website, rubenmusic.com, Ruben Music with a K, and also my other site, rubenmoreno.live. All my
Okay.
other performances are listed there. You can catch me if you're in Texas. You can catch me in Houston in January, um, doing Mardi Gras in February, in Cold Springs,
Oh
Texas
yeah.
in January. If I don't know when the rodeo is going to start, I got an email that they booked us back at the Houston Livestock Show rodeo this year, so it might be in March or April or something.
I think they said they was gonna do it in May. That's what I heard. I'm not sure.
I know somebody.
Yeah.
Not Lena, the mayor had it on the other day. I saw that they were gonna just move it down. So
Yeah, they're gonna move it down. I think they said May or something like that.
okay.
Yeah, you can do that and find my music, download my music. I don't care if you.
And YouTube, you have a YouTube channel?
YouTube, yes.
Moreno Vivo, all that.
Okay, cool. So y'all can get their music from anywhere. Guys, it's always a little different when I'm talking to two people at one time. So I hope I covered and I got y'all's opinions out and they know about your music and everything. I hope when the world opens back up that we can do this in person. I think it'll be so much fun. And I want to say that I appreciate both of you and your music. And believe it or not, little bitty me, I'm real feisty. So I'm always fussing about, well, why y'all didn't come over here for this, or why we not going? So I do, and I believe in I like everybody's music, but I do like to hear Ruben, and I like to hear Marcus. I love to hear Brian Jack, and so I would love to see more people come to those events. That's just how I feel about it. So I thank y'all both for being here. Appreciate it. Guys, Ruben and Marcus, thank y'all for making the choice to click in the chat with Trina. And go to youtube.com/chat with Trina and make sure you hit the subscribe and click the bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you.
And we appreciate you, Trina.
No problem.
You too. We appreciate you. Love you. Thanks.
Thank you. Love you too. Bye.
Thank you again, Mr. Marcus Ardoin and Mr. Ruben Moreno, for chatting with Trina tonight. It was great information, and I'm really enjoying getting to know more about the history and culture of Zydeco. I can't wait to get to talk to you guys in person soon so that I can actually hear more about your own personal story and journey to Zydeco. Guys, remember, get Ruben and Marcus's music. They got some awesome music. You can get it on any of the popular music streaming services online. And don't forget, Chat with Trina comes on every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on the Chat with Trina Facebook Live page. Hey, go to youtube.com/chat with Trina. Subscribe and then hit the bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video.